What's up, everyone? Ben Barrows, aka Random Crown, back for part 2 of the $27 Six Max Turbo Progressive KO on PokerStars. If you haven't seen part 1, I encourage you to check it out before watching this one so you're all caught up as to where we're at. Now we have 3-5 suited here in the BB, facing this under the +1 open and small blind call. We flop bottom pair with an open ender on the 3 heart board when we have no hearts. So we decide to lead for about a third pot. And the reason why we do this is to get it in against the small blind with the intention of folding to a raise from under the +1. Because when we lead here, it looks like we could have a pretty strong hand. We could have a straight or a flush. Probably not a straight because we'd maybe make it bigger than a third pot to protect against the flush draws. But we could have a flush when we're leading into the original raiser here, especially with a stack that we are committed against the small blind when they shove. Like, it's not too much more for us. So that's why we raise, or that's why we bet here, to make it look kind of strong. So basically we're trying to fold out the ace high type hands that Miracle Q has, or get them to call with, like, you know, 2 overs with 1 heart. You know, because like if they call, then their hand is a little more face up to us, but obviously whenever they have an overpair, they're going to raise. So for that reason, I think maybe check calling is better, because that way we can get more value from their overpairs, like in the sense of like being able to like maybe call a bet from them if they size it small enough, because then we'll have the right price to draw to our, you know, our equity, because we have an open-ended straight draw. We have a pair, so we could make 2 pair of trips, but it's still kind of close on this kind of texture when there's already 3 to a flush out there. We don't have any of that suit. So I mean, if they size it large enough, yeah, we'll just easily check fold. But we decided to try something unconventional because, again, we don't mind getting in against the small blind stack size, and Miracle Q likely will not be raising here unless they have a lot of equity, like unless they have an overpair, unless they have like the ace of hearts. So we easily fold to the raise. I think checking is definitely the more standard play, but especially it's important to mix it up in general and just try out new things, and you know, just take non-standard lines against thinking players, because they generally know what the standard move is. So when you do something different against them, you know, you can put them in tough spots when they're unfamiliar with, you know, a certain like action they're not used to seeing, and then you can play off of that accordingly. Like when they're not exactly sure how to react against your bet or raise or whatever your action is, yeah, sometimes you can, you know, sense a shift in the game flow and, you know, play off of it. And that seems to be like where a lot of edge can come from, just adapting like more quickly to newer situations than other players. Now we raise Jack Queen, get it in against the BB since they shove for not too much more. They also have Jack Queen, so we chop it up. Ace Deuce in the small blind, facing a 3 extra one with a gun. Easy mark. Ace 5 in the BB. What happened there? What, right? We had less chips than that a moment ago, right? No, 12k. 7k. Yeah, see, look, we jumped from 7k to 12k. Looks like we skipped a few hands there, guys. So now, where are those ones? Here, there seem to be just some missing hands here and a couple other hand histories. Don't know why that is. Seems like Poker Tracker may have glitched out a couple times. But what? So we missed a few hands here because we're at 200, 400, and now we're at 255, and we have like 5k more in our stack. But whatever, it doesn't really affect things. We just must have won some sort of pot in there. Now we have ace 5, what facing that, open for Miracle Q. Can we defend? Get a king 9, 8, 2 heart board. We completely miss. Easily fold the c-bet. Ace 10 suited on the button. Looks like we just open and ship the blinds. Oh, we open shippity dip it for 18 blinds. And yeah, that's standard there with the suited ace. Any ace really, 20 BB effective is shove on the button. Ace 4 in small blind. Easy ship. 15 blinds effective, UV calls. And we fortunately get there on the turn with our 4 against the king 8. Oh, we don't even have to get there. We just hold. Yeah, just like in the previous hand history where we shove with queen 8 and get called by jack 7. We hold. Yeah, everyone's just calling so much lighter blind versus blind these days. We had 9, 10 on the button. We open, small blind calls, BB 3 bets, that's what we get out of the way. I have jack 9, the BB. Button opens. We defend, we get a 7, ace 6 rainbow board. Turn second pair. We easily check calls instead of betting worse hands. And river pairs 7, just goes check, check. And they were just delay c-betting their pocket 5s. That's why it's better to just bet the flop with those types of vulnerable hands, because you don't want to check and allow your opponent to realize some equity. Like if you had to see with the flop, I always fold jack high. I have queen 7 suited in the small blind. Easy jam for 14 blinds. And we have king 8 suited on the button. And we flat this cutoff open. And the reason we flat the cutoff open is because we perceive them to be opening on the wider side, so we're just flatting for value. And the BB has not many chips, so we do not mind calling it off if they go all in. However, they go all in and the original razor goes all in as well, so it's an easy muck now because we don't want to just call off like nearly 30 blinds with king high, when the original razor will have ace high a lot and some pairs, and somehow they only have queen high. But yeah, it would still be an irresponsible call with king high there. Somehow Conga Khan has aces and triples up, very nice. Or not triples, but more than doubles. King 9 under the gun. Try to go for the steal. Again, kind of loose. Wouldn't make a habit of this, but we were just kind of playing a pretty aggro approach this tournament. We're definitely raising a lot more than what is GTO. But it creates a lot of interesting spots for us to discuss now. Now we get a King Jack 10 all spade board, and we bet a third pot, take it down, our top pair with our straight flush draw. Yeah, we definitely want to bet to kind of protect, or just at least not give a free card. You know, we can still get value from worse pairs, you know, Jack or a 10. Queen X, of course, is always calling. And yeah, it's better than checking and letting them bet, because they'll surely bet more if they do. And then we're in a tough spot out of position. Don't really want to call all the way down with just top pair 9 kicker, but we definitely call the flop and to evaluate the turn. But yeah, leading out here small just allows us to set the price. And we still get called by worse, so that's why we do that. Now pocket jacks in the VB. Facing the raise from the cutoff. We 3-bet to a little under 2.5x to induce, and they just fold. And this is definitely better as a jam pre. That way it doesn't look as strong, and we're more apt to get called by worse pairs that could just fold to our 3-bet. So yeah, as you can see, I've grown a lot as a player since this tournament. This was like in the end of August, and I've become a lot more GTO since then, really trying to take a mathematical approach to the game, you know, and play my ranges accordingly, you know, in each situation. Just really just strive to be optimal and just make the best possible move in any given situation. And it looks like I was playing kind of sloppily this tournament, to be honest. I was raising too loosely all over the place. But yeah, again, it just makes for, you know, good review, you know, so I can kind of guide you guys as to like what is good here, of course, and then like what kind of play should be avoided, you know, like, yeah, definitely didn't play this optimally, but at the same time, still has a lot of interesting hands, and I have a thought process, and some of the thought processes I have here are very good, and they're worth going into, so you can emulate them, but some of them are kind of spewy, and I think some players will be able to relate to them, you know, in the sense of like doing something that you know is not GTO, you know, just doing something that is overly loose, and we can go into like how you could like be in that state of mind, or like what reasons you would think of for a play to be good, and that's why you would do them, you know, in game. But like upon further analysis, you know, like when we're not playing, you know, we can see that that isn't always the right approach, and there could be a more optimal strategy. Now we easily just call it off against the small blind when they ship it for like 3 blinds in the VB. We turn trips to ship the dip. And we have King 9 on the button. Easily open. VB defends, we get an ace 10 deuce, 2 spade board. And bet we underbet. Check. Get a offsuit 7 on the turn. Check, and we just overbet huge here on the river. Yeah, more than 2x pot because we have the king of spades blocker. We block the nut, well, not the nut flush, but the second nut flush, and Broadway, like, yeah, less combos of king jack than have a straight. And because they checked the river, it's just very unlikely that they have a flush or a straight or 2 pair or trips, just any strong hand. Probably not even an ace. They likely would have valued an ace. But the reason why we ship here is because 2x pot is too much for an ace to call. Like, we bet the flop, like we could have bet the flop with a flush draw. We could have bet the flop with king jack. Could have bet the flop with like queen 10 or ace queen. And we could have easily checked all those hands on the turn. Ace Queen still probably bets, but King Jack would definitely check back. Two Spades could totally check back. 10 Queen for sure. So once we get this river, especially because, yeah, I mean, like, we block the straight, we block some flush combos, and they just probably don't have anything that great. They probably have a 10, they could have a deuce, and then they have some like weak medium aces, none of which can call a 2x pot shove on this board. I mean, like, yeah, we could just easily have something very good, so we just expect this to work the vast majority of the time. Take it down. Maybe ace 4 maybe. Facing an open and a 3-bet, easy muck. Six, 5 and small one, easy muck is cuff. And we have ace king suited in the BB. Facing a limp from under the gun, 3x ISO from the cutoff, and a min 3-bet from the button. We just 4-bet yam it in and somehow have fold equity. We ship a decent increase to our stack, like over 50% without even having to see a board. Now we have King Jack in the BB, facing under the gun +1's open. Small blind calls, we call. Flop ace 4 deuce 2 clubs. We have the backdoor fleazy dreezy. Checks around, don't turn any equity, so we just check fold to the lacy bet. Now I got the ace 9 on the cutoff. We open, button calls. BB comes along as well. We get in queen, jack, deuce, 2 club board. We have backdoor flush draw and a straight draw. Or backdoor straight draw, excuse me. We bet 2 calls and then just shut down in this 8 turn. Checks around. And we easily fold to the bet on the jack river. Queen 9 suited on the button. Easy shippity dip all in for a little less than 15 bigs. We get ace 9 on the cutoff now. And now we have right over 15 bleezies. And we shippity deezy and win the blinds. Now we have jack queen suited under the gun, and we shippy dip it again for about 15 blinds. And we do so after raising the king 10. Yeah, I was wondering how we had the same stack. So we min raise king 10 first under the gun, button chips it, so we fold. And then we ship the jack queen suited under the gun, 15 blinds. And get it through. Ace 8 suited now in small blind. Cutoff opens. Again, they're going to be opening pretty wide. Suited ace is a great one to ship it in with. Plenty of fold equity, and they could still call with worse. Some broadways, potentially worse aces, because of the bounty factor. Cutoff opens, BB 3-bets, and they call, see a flop. 9-7 suited just was not really good enough to go there. We could have shipped it over there open if we think they're wide enough, but it's close. Pocket jacks, easy ship, blind versus blind for a little over 10 blinds. We can take it down. Maybe queens in the BB. Facing under the gun +1 open, cutoff calls. We easily just shippity dip it in for a little less than 20 beavers, take it down. Yeah, way better to 3-bet all in rather than just 3-bet call on that stack size because it looks so strong. That way we, you know, get more value from worse pairs that could just fold to a 3-bet. And 6-7 suited. Cutoff opens, button calls, we defend. Get Jack, Queen, 4, 2 club board, we just completely miss, easily fold this bet. Deuce King is suited, we decide to open on the cutoff. Button plats. BB defends, we get a Queen 3-8 board. We completely miss, so we just check and give up. Easily fold to the turn bets. 10-8 suited now. But first we have ace. How do we get these extra chips? No, we don't really get any extra chips. Yeah, we just fold for a bit. What happened with the 10-8 suited though? So cutoff opens. 3x. So we just fold, of course. 7s though in under the gun position. We ship 15 blinds, ship the bleedies as well. Ace 3 suited on the cutoff. Again, easy ship for 13 blinds. Alright, we got queens on the cutoff. Hijack opens, go all in. Again, it's the only way to play this stack in this hand. Ship at the bleedies. And yeah, with that, we will conclude part 2 of the $27 Six-Max Turbo Progressive KO. Hope you guys enjoyed and have been learning, and hope to see you back for part 3.